Since 2013, for over a decade, we've been pushing the limits of every Monster Hunter game, and today we're taking on Wilds. Our objective is simple. We want to hit over 10,000 damage, so a 5-digit damage number with one single greatsword hit in Monster Hunter Wilds. In our last video, we've hit over 6,000 damage already on a Blangonga with a 70 weak point. On Tempered Rathian, we had a slightly higher weak point of 75 and even surpassed 7,000 damage. So this brings up the question, what if we do this on the highest weak point in the game, and how high can we actually go? Can we reach over 10,000 just like we did in Iceborne? It could be possible since Wilds has no more attack cap like World and Iceborne had. Back then, we didn't even have to use that many attack buffs since we capped out so easily anyway. And now, because of this uncapped attack ceiling in Wilds, we have to use almost every single buff that exists in the game at the same time, which is basically impossible to do without using mods, and I will explain at the end of this video why. So instead of using mods, we want to try to go for over 10,000 damage, which is still gonna be really difficult, but legitimately achievable. If you've watched our one-shot video, you might already know which monster we will choose for this video. Yankutku has an incredibly high weak point of 90 on the wing when it's wounded, and Zoshia's wing arm is even higher with 95 when wounded. But for this video, the actual final boss is Zuwu, because it has the highest weak point in the entire game with a value of 100 on its mouth. And we figured out that we can reach it by successfully interrupting Zuwu's signature move, which is its strongest attack. When interrupting it, it flips over and reveals the bottom part with its mouth. A lot of you guys are often confused by how weak points are calculated in Monster Hunter, so let me quickly explain. Let's take Reidao's weak point of 60 on the head, which actually translates to a damage multiplier of 0.6. If we attack with a value of 1000, we will deal 600 damage. So this hit zone actually reduces our damage even though everyone calls it a weak point. So the best scenario is a monster with a weak point of 100 where the multiplier is simply 1, meaning no damage reduction for that particular hit zone. Alright, once we've flipped over Zuwu, we will have to put it to sleep in this exact position and then land a true charge / power. Putting Zuwu to sleep is very important because when landing a wake-up hit on a sleeping monster, we deal double damage. We use a perfect Gogmasius greatsword with Ice Element with 263 base attack, 48 base element, white sharpness, minus 10% affinity, and fortifying belt, which is a set bonus skill which allows us to fit Fortify and Lord Soul at the same time. And these are the armor skills we will be using. This should be the optimal build to hit over 10,000 damage. But keep in mind that we do not recommend using this build for regular hunts. We will be using this high rank investigation in the arena with Zuwu and a Chattacabra. We will need the Chattacabra later to activate several armor skills and to activate the true charge / power by hitting a sleeping Chattacabra that needs to be positioned just to the side of Zuwu for us to hit it with the small hit of the TCS so that the final big hit gets the TCS power boost for the max motion value of 267. This is the highest motion value of any weapon move in the game. Otherwise, if we don't hit the Chattacabra first with the small hit before, it would be a normal TCS with a motion value of just 209, which is way weaker. Of course, we start with bombs to die twice to activate Fortify for 21% more attack. Now we switch to our main build with Greatsword and Hunting Horn. We need 3 players for this strategy: Gluko with the Echo Bubble Hunting Horn and the Gogma Greatsword, Savage with another Hunting Horn which can play the Attack Up Large Song and the Light Bowgun to sleep, and by the way, both Hunting Horn buffs actually stack. Then Judo plays the Greatsword to offset Zuwu's signature move. Gluko already lowered his HP to activate Piping Hot, which increases our attack by 35%, so now we just have to wait until Zu does its signature move. And here we go, that is the timing to topple it. Meanwhile, Gluko plays the Echo Bubble for 10% more attack and 25% more affinity. Then we put on Evasion Mantle and activate Ambush for 50% more attack by doing a sneak attack on Chattacabra. Then we have to tackle a small bomb to activate Counter-Strike for 25 more attack. Now the boys use wide range to buff us with Might Pill and Lord's Favor as well as Warcry. Then we have to block Chattacabra to activate Offensive Guard for 15% more attack. Judo places a small bomb to dodge to activate Evasion Mantle and Adrenaline Rush at the same time. Whoopsies.
No. Kaya pala, tapos may...
One of the main problems was actually hitting the mouth, because we hit the tentacles or the arms so many times on accident.
Please, Goku, please! No!
No! And after countless of attempts, the odds were finally in our favor.
Well...
it's fine, it's fine. No!
What?
Yes!
What? No way! No way!
Yes!
We finally did what no one has ever achieved before, 10,218.5 damage. The first time someone has hit over 5 digits.
I can't believe it's been over a year since I hit that, and no one's beat it yet. What was that?
10,218.
How much? Sorry, wow, that's, yeah. Ha! Nicely done. Darkside. Nicely done.
You may be surprised now, but we actually knew exactly how much damage this hit would deal. With all of the experience we had since we hit the highest damage number in world, it was quite easy to figure it out. Let me quickly explain it for you guys. This here are all of our attack multipliers that we can add up to the total number of 3.359471079. Then afterwards, we add all the flat attack increases on top of it and reach our final attack value, which can be seen when opening the status menu, for example. Then we add all of the attack damage multipliers, which add up to a factor of 9.86832, which gives us a total of 10,072.02 raw damage. And that is just the raw damage without taking element into account. So now we have to do the same exact thing with the ice element, which gets us to 147.49 damage. Actually, that is just 1.4% of the entire damage number. So as you can see, as always, element barely matters for these greatsword hits, but it's still part of it and gets us to the final number 10,218.5, which matches exactly the number that we got in the game.
For real though, that is just incredible to see. Bravo, I cannot wait for Master Rank.
Now, I want you guys to take a look at this calculation. It shows all of the buffs that we know that increase our damage number. So let me explain which of these buffs we're actually missing and why, so you guys can understand why we chose not to go for the theoretical maximum. First off, the Palico song is really annoying to use because we cannot bring it into a 4-player hunt. So the 3rd and 4th players would have to wait in the hub until the Palico randomly decides to play the song, then join, and would only have a 2-minute window to get everything else done, including loading times of the players that join the quest. Instead of using the +5 attack buff from burst, we would have to go for the +10 buff, which means having to hit 5 times during the 2-slash combo before landing the final big hit, which is only possible by using either several different small monster corpses that trigger multiple times multiple hits, or the barrels from the camps. So essentially, we couldn't have used the arena investigation anymore. Binding counter was also missing, so we'd also have to farm for yet another time-limited buff by doing a power clash with another 3rd monster like Arkveld, for example, that would have to chill somewhere else on the map. Caprice Meal is a new and very annoying skill that activates randomly every 3 to 5 minutes with no predictability at all when it activates, and once it does activate, it expires after just 10 seconds. The existence of this skill makes the highest damage number project a nightmare to do in Wilds. Next up, Agitator would require us to keep a monster enraged nearby, most likely the one we're blocking for offensive guard, so instead of using the more comfortable sleep strategy, we'd have to go for a shock trap every time. Then there is yet another new skill called Self-Improvement, which forces you to wait 30 minutes on quest every single attempt to get the maximum of 12 attack. And if all of this weren't enough, there's yet another elemental buff that we would need called Coalescence, which comes for free from the Jindahat arms, and although it's only an elemental elemental boost, it still would be necessary to reach the highest damage possible, except that it only lasts for 30 seconds and you need to clear a blight or an abnormal status to activate it. So as you can see, not only is this basically impossible to achieve, to have all of these buffs active legitimately at the same time, but here comes the best part. With this particular highest damage build, we would only have 37% affinity. 37%! Imagine we would somehow magically have all of these buffs active at the same time and then we don't crit. A complete nightmare scenario. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Keep in mind that this is obviously just our theoretical calculation, since nobody has ever done this before and checked if this is actually true and if it's gonna work out, but it would get us to about 12,500 damage. If you are a long-time subscriber, you may remember the situation that we had with Brutal Strike, which was so difficult to activate in Rise base game. If we were to compare with that, now in Wilds, getting the absolute highest possible would be way harder than that. But if you want to see how much higher we can go in the Master Rank expansion of Wilds, be sure to subscribe, and if you've enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us by becoming a YouTube member. We are super grateful for the support that so many of you have given us over on Patreon for a long time, but we decided to discontinue it and instead support the YouTube membership system here by adding brand new member shoutouts at the end of every video, early access to many videos, you get a cool badge next to your name in the comment section, and we will reply to your comments on YouTube. And we just created a new private channel on our TDS Discord server for YouTube members where we will be active to chat with you guys. And with that being said, we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.